Welcome to the Fourth and Wrong podcast. This is episode 6 now. We're going to start off today by recapping this last week. Obviously, Thursday night football with our Lions kicking the shit out of the Packers in their field. Donnie and Marshall, you were there. Give us your thoughts.
It was a lot better than going in January. I promise you that. If you're ever going to go to a Packers game, make sure it's from between the months of September. And even then in September, it might be a little hot. Like me and Donnie might have got the perfect night for football weather ever. It was like imagining like going to your homecoming game, beautiful 60 degrees, no wind. It is just beautiful out and you're just enjoying football. And that's basically what it was. And I mean, we couldn't have gotten a better experience. I mean, it was a lot of fun. We only had a couple. We had some good and bad altercations with Packers fans. Like the first three Packers fans literally walked up to us and was like, "First time to Lambeau Field." We were like, second and third time, and he was like, "Well, welcome to Lambeau Field." And it's like, all right, but just being there, and we were around some Lions fans and some Packers fans as well. It was a very fun game. There was a guy, and I know I didn't tell you guys this. There was a drunk guy in front of me, and he fell on me 2 times, more times than Jordan Love had passing touchdowns. So it was a very interesting game, but it was a lot of fun. We got to witness the famous on social media, the Amon-Ra St. Brown kiss that he gave to that Packers fan. But man, I don't know if Packers fans are really sold on Jordan Love, especially from the guy that was behind me and Donnie. He was not liking Jordan Love whatsoever.
Yeah. Like Marshall said, it was like a crisp 62 out, no wind. It was about as good as it's gonna get in Green Bay outside for a football game. Packers fans for the most part were okay. I'm kind of an asshole when I go to an opposing stadium. I got called a bitch before the game even got kicked off.
You did.
So I mean, I kind of saw it coming the way I was acting. Then I got Jared Goff was holding behind me, and I turned around and told that guy to go fuck himself. So I wasn't super great with other fans. Shout out to the girl in front of us who gave up midway through the fourth quarter and said, "Hey, at least we have the Bucks." So that was
she pulled out that you guys like the Bucks. It was
that was a
got
wild,
Damian Lillard now.
That was a wild day for them.
She asked us if we like basketball, and we were like, I mean, the Pistons aren't good, so like, no, not really. Like, we like players, but we don't like teams. And she was like, "So you're gonna root for the Bucks, right?" And we were both like, "Yeah, the Bucks. Yeah, Dame's cool." She made us pinky promise. That tells you how toasted she fucking was. A 30-year-old woman made us pinky promise us. Other than that, I was sitting in the end seat, so I have the stairs right next to me, and there's obviously on the other side. There was a guy and his daughter, some of the only other Lions fans around us. Me and that guy were chill. He actually predicted like half the shit that happened, which was kind of crazy. But other than that, and then, people calling me bitch. It was fun.
We stayed after a little bit. Sorry, Colin. We stayed after a little bit. We got to see the Thursday night football stuff. That was really cool to see. It was just and the Lions fans did indeed take over that stadium. It was all "Let's go Lions" chants after that game.
You could hear them on the broadcast in the second quarter. Like clearly hear them.
Best part was watching like as they won, and like you knew they were gonna win. Everybody kind of went down towards the sideline. Me and Marshall were like 40 some odd rows up. We literally went down to like row 3 with everybody. And basically the entire Lions sideline was just crowded with all the fans. And then that's the sideline they did Thursday Night Football. So everybody just kind of migrated down, and then they migrated over. And everybody you saw was probably 75% of the Lions fans there. So it was pretty sweet. Everybody just kind of hanging out.
And before we move on, before we got to move on and start talking about the games and stuff, I'd say the one cool thing that me and Donnie both agreed on about having an outdoor stadium, because Ford Field is indoor, the fireworks like during the intros and like the scenery, I'm not gonna lie, it was like, even like as a Lions fan, I was like, this is sick.
You can do some really cool stuff with outdoor stadiums.
It was really damn cool. And it's like, now would I give up an indoor stadium for that? No, because come December, we're chilling in Ford Field. Like we are sitting right in Ford Field. But besides that, Lions take the lead in the division. As Lions fans, we have a lot looking good right now, and hopefully we keep the ball rolling. But man, it was a great game, and the Lions, they just looked better than ever. I'd say the one thing that only pissed me off about the Lions was when that man Brian Branch got injured, the game was over. Why did they put him back in the game? Because he almost re-injured himself. He hurt his knee. It's like, okay, the game is basically over. Get him out of the game. I don't care if he's running and doing sprints on the sideline. Better safe than sorry. We have a long week. Just take him out. But besides that, coaching was great. Players were great. Defense was amazing. It was all around good.
Yeah, definitely jealous of the fireworks. That's actually the first thing I said when they started mounting the comeback is all the fireworks went off. And I literally turned to Marshall. I was like, I mean, at least we got to see the fireworks. These are pretty cool. Like they kept going. And then I was like, okay, the fireworks can fucking stop. But the first time it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, obviously not NFL, but when I've been to like, we went to Ohio State with the marching band in 2019 for the night game there. And that shit was one of the greatest atmospheres I've ever been a part of. Like, even as an opposing fan, it's just wild. Like, outdoor stadiums, night games with the fireworks and shit, they're just always fucking cool. Night games are always fucking cool.
It was really cool.
It's something about an outdoors night game. It makes it feel very much like, I don't know. It just feels a lot better, even though we're at Lambeau.
Yeah, it does.
Unless it's Sunday Night Football
and it's just something like
when I was there, I don't know how Marshall was. When they got loud and they took the lead, the lead early in the fourth,
scared.
Like it was loud and the place is like shaking. And as bad as it was as a Lions fan, like I was still confident they were going to win, but it was kind of nice hearing how loud everybody was. Given I was not on their side at all, so that part sucked. But like the atmosphere is crazy.
And I would say the one thing about like these like going to a primetime game is all four of us will be at a primetime game later this year, which is going to be amazing. And it's not outdoors, but knowing that the entire world of football is watching that game and the Lions are playing that good, it's something else that's just, everyone's watching. And even though we don't have an outdoor stadium, knowing that we don't have any other games to look at, the whole world is watching the Lions play. It is just all kinds of just nervous and like, because all four of us have been to a 1:00 game. This is a whole nother level. Like I would say we're playing probably an easier team when we go to play the Raiders, but it's still even crazy.
It's just 3 touchdowns now.
Yeah, prime time. Yeah, the Raiders are actually going to come back to this clip when the Raiders went 50-4. So it's going to be actually wild. Speaking of real quick before I totally forget, the Chiefs game, I had to go get food and I came back and I walked in the living room and the score was 7-2. I was like, what happened while I was gone? I was like, I just left for a minute and it's 7-2. I'm like, what happened?
All right, now we can actually get into the pod and quit lightly rubbing in that we were there. We've been on a lot longer.
I was gonna say something about the Lions and just like it's fucking wild being a fan of a good Lions team.
Does that feel weird to anybody else? Like, I don't actually believe that.
Like, there's people that believe, like, outside of Detroit, like, obviously Detroit fans every fucking year are like, we're winning the Super Bowl, it's our year. It's there's like national media that are on our side, and it's like there are people that are picking us to win these games.
Oh yeah,
and it's fucking wild. It does not feel real right now, and that's crazy to say after beating a like mid Packers team. But like, I mean, the Lions of old lose that game 10 out of 10 times. Like Packers get back in it. Well, I mean, especially with Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers was still in Green Bay, we probably would have lost that game.
We would have lost that game once we threw that pick on the first drive. But somehow all of them were like, who cares? Move on. And Ben and Dan rallied that team. And guess what? Jared was flawless after that pick.
But
now I'm seeing it's starting to become like, seriously, we went that many games without interception. This man, Jared, Donnie said it at the game. He's like, I feel like Jared has to throw an interception like somewhere in the first quarter. He just gets that off. And then he's amazing since then.
I swear you can watch his body language. He physically calms down after he throws an interception.
It's like he's like, oh, we're going.
But honestly, I'll take it. He went so long without an interception. This is just regressing to the mean. So I honestly don't. Until he throws like 4 in one game, I'm okay with it.
My buddy Austin texted me on Sunday at like 11. And he's like, this is the best feeling ever. I said, what? He's like, waking up on Sunday and the Lions have already won week 4. I'm like, I know, it's the best feeling ever. He's like, this is the second time this year. It is so good being like, man, Sunday football. Lions already won, so it's like, who cares what happens today?
We should play all of our games on Thursdays.
No, I don't like that, honestly. I don't like that shit.
We got to figure out a way to somehow get some. We got to get some podcast footage from when we all go to the Monday night game because that is going to be a lot of fun.
We'll post that shit on TikTok. Don't worry.
We just sneak down onto the field and be like, "All right, so the predictions." We act like we're our own crew and stuff.
Yeah.
Before we move
that's
on
on you, bud.
to the Sunday slate, for one last thing about the Lions, I know Donnie's real happy about this one. JMO is back. They changed the NFL rule.
Yes.
They changed the NFL
Yeah.
rule, which is now 2
Ooh.
games instead of 6 for that non-NFL betting. And JMO is eligible to return
They should
whenever.
retroactively give us the win against Seattle.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that was week 2 anyway. Never mind. He would have been suspended still.
So,
This man go-
Math is
I don't
hard.
know. I haven't really read into it. Am I the only one who thinks that's like really fucking weird? Like, name another time the NFL has suspended somebody and it's not an appeal. Like, because they've done like 6 games, they appeal.
very
They
weird.
4. But isn't it so weird that they
They
just
like
are
straight
you
up
know what?
changed the rule.
Fuck it, you can go back. You know what I mean? It seems like even if they change the rule,
Well,
they'd be
especially
no,
'cause that,
we
like,
leave out
I
Well,
the-
feel
did
like
you
that-
also see the other part of the rule is now if you bet on an NFL game, it's 2 years of suspension.
If you bet on any NFL game, it's a year. If you bet on your own team, it's 2.
Okay, so they changed
Like,
it.
if I
Yeah.
bet, if you're on the Bengals and you bet on the Titans, they don't give a fuck. But if you're on the Bengals and you bet on the Bengals, or I'm guessing,
Well, I mean, they do give a
all
fuck.
these
You're suspended for a fucking year.
Man, Calvin Ridley read that and said, "Huh? Okay, all right."
He said, "Bet."
Seriously,
I got one more in me.
But well, moving on to the Sunday slate.
Well, I mean, we got. Are we skipping over Thursday night football then?
We what?
I mean, we kind of went over it. I would
What
say
do you
We
mean?
go over it after
me,
before we
me and
started.
Marshall talked about our experience. They did not talk about it. To be very fair.
Right? Are we? Or do you mean recapping the Sunday slate?
Yeah,
of this week's
recapping
games?
the Sunday
Oh,
slate.
I thought you meant we were
Yeah.
skipping ahead to
No,
picks
no, no,
for
no,
next
no,
week.
no, no. Like,
Oh,
no,
no,
just seriously, like, talk. Like, was there any? Like, take 5. We'll take 5-10
Oh,
minutes.
yeah, no.
Was there anything crazy that happened besides maybe the best game of the week? The Bears versus the Broncos was a fucking shootout of a game.
Dude,
Man,
That was
the
a
fucking Bears. Justin Fields finally looked like a real quarterback, and
About-
it still
and one-
wasn't enough.
and it proved that the Bears are the problem, and
The
it's
Bears
not
are
just
I was gonna
that.
say it's the Bears. Like it's
It's
just
the
the
Bears.
Bears.
I
That
would
team
push
top to
back on
bottom
that.
sucks.
I would push back on that. Justin Fields had what 3 or 4 touchdowns in through 2 quarters. Like he looked really good for
He
a
had
minute. And then,
four
He only
touchdowns.
incompleted 4 passes, which is
Yeah, but
crazy.
then,
For
like, at the end of the game-
350 yards passing, 4
At the end of the
touchdowns.
He was
they
28.
had a minute.
He
and,
was
like-
28 of 35 for 335, 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. He
I'm not
cannot
saying
play
he-
much better than that.
I'm not saying he played bad and like it was all on him, but like at the end of the game, what happened? It's a 3rd down. He throws the game-sealing interception. I'm just
Well,
saying.
that's
No.
I'm also saying-
It should never
I'm
be in
also
that
saying-
situation though. You got to kick the
They
field
were
goal.
up-
You got
they
to
were
kick the
up-
field goal.
Okay, look at
Well, and they were
he
up
can't do-
28-7.
All he can do is he knows he has the ball, 2 minutes left. I got to go down and score. Like he has some blame too.
He threw a
No.
pick, but like
He
I'm
has
saying
maybe
10% blame.
10% of the blame.
Yeah, there's no way
I'm
they
not saying
shouldn't
it's
have.
all on him. I'm saying the Bears are fucking ass, but I'm saying like you can't be like, oh my god, he played perfect. There's nothing else he could have
But
done.
I mean,
He
it's just
damn
one of
near
those things.
did.
I mean, he did.
He
oh,
damn near
near
played
played
perfect.
It's just
That
one of those
entire-
things
The
to me.
reason they were in that game though is because of Justin Fields. There's no other player that put them in that position besides Justin Fields. He was just sling. And did you see like the passes that man was making? Like Mahomes level, like run up to the line, flick into the end, like serious, like that one where
Yeah.
he ran up to the line and then snuck it in between 3 defenders. He was lasering all day. Like it was actually unbelievable what he was doing. This man, Zach Wilson and Justin Fields, must have like they were the Monstars and they went over and touched the basketball. And
Yeah,
so
I don't-
it was
I
some
don't know.
crazy shit.
That's the only thing I give a shit to talk about on Sunday, to be honest with you. I think it was like the most boring slate other than the
It
Bills
was.
beating the Dolphins. Like I thought every game was just
Stephon Diggs went
Commanders.
crazy.
The Commanders keeping it close against the Eagles, I thought was interesting, just because they're the first team that handed them their first loss last year when they were 8.
Real
It
quick.
seems like the Commanders play them closer than even like the Cowboys do or the Giants. Like it just seems like out of every team in that division that could like pull off again a win against the Eagles, it feels like the Commanders for some reason.
Real quick, I want to bring up I don't like him that much anymore, obviously, because he's not on our team. But I want to talk about Matthew Stafford might be the only quarterback ever that can make random receivers look like NFL superstars. You look at the list. Okay, real quick. I looked at a list and looked into it. Marvin Jones was only ever like putting up solid 1,000-yard seasons when he was working with Matthew Stafford on the Lions. Golden Tate's best years of his career was Matthew Stafford on the Lions. You look at Kenny Galladay, had an amazing top 5 wide receiver NFL season when he was with Matthew Stafford, and then goes off and he's not even on an NFL team after that. Was only like 4 or 5 years ago. Then you go look at Cooper Kupp. Before Matthew Stafford got there, what was Cooper Kupp doing? Putting up measly 800 to 700-yard seasons. All of a sudden, this guy Puka comes out of nowhere. He has like 600 yards and a touchdown on the NFL season as a 5th-round draft pick. The list keeps going. There's only one person that I wouldn't have mattered if he was playing with Stafford or not, and that's Calvin Johnson. He would have put up those numbers anyways because Stafford was just throwing this man up the ball and he was jumping over 7 people to get it. But it's weird. And like I said, I'm not a fan anymore because he's on a different team, but this man Stafford has the ability to make random receivers look like NFL superstars. And it's so odd to me how like he makes all these people at the peak of their career when they're on the Lions and then they just go off and do nothing on other teams. It's so weird. I don't know why and how that works, but it's just that's what he does. I just had to throw that out here because it's just so crazy. Now I'm not saying that's because
around him.
I'm not saying that's because it's all him. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just so odd.
I don't know. I feel like I've told you guys that for a while.
Because I don't think I can look at this guy Puka and think, yeah, he's going to be great because soon he's not going to be playing with Stafford. And then what happens? This man drops off the face of the earth. Like,
my biggest thing is Stafford throws the ball so much.
Yes.
Like, and he averages like 40 passes a game. Obviously, he's targeting certain people more, so their numbers will get boosted. When Cooper Kupp comes back, is Puka even going to come close to half the targets he's getting with Cooper Kupp on the field?
Once Cooper Kupp comes back,
like,
what happens?
Like, it could just be a nice, cool little 4 or 5 weeks for Puka, and then he just disappears again. Like, I'm not saying that Stafford or anything.
How Stafford plays the ball is he. Go ahead.
My thing would be, even if that does happen, it's not like Puka Nacua is a fucking 5th or 6th round pick. Like, he's not supposed to be great. Plus, even if his production falls off a cliff, yeah, he might not get 15 targets a game. Can he get 6, 7? Yeah, because the Rams are going to have to throw the ball all over the yard because they can't carry a run game with that offensive line. They're good at running the ball in the red zone because basically every single touchdown has come from Kareem Williams, the running back. Other than that, how are they getting down the field? It's Matthew Stafford. He is walking them down the field, and they punch it in with the running back. That's why Nakuda has all these yards and finally got his first touchdown last week.
I do think Stafford is still in turn. I think he is around like the 9th or 10th quarterback in the league. Nowhere ever in the league was he's the 2nd best quarterback in the league. But I think Stafford, you put him on a healthy team with at least somewhat like decent people, Stafford's going to make plays. Now, the reason Stafford has always been just so like he is bottom 10 quarterback, but he's still great is because the reason all these random receivers are getting so good is because he will just force the ball wherever he feels like. It doesn't care if it ends in a pick, doesn't care what happens. He's just going to throw it there and sees what happens. And a lot of the times it gets him a pick. It gets him just bad stuff. Like we saw a lot in that Super Bowl run. Like he just like a double coverage. He throws it. It's like, Stafford, can we find the open receiver and not just force it to the same guy? Kind of what Dallas was saying. He just forces it to people that doesn't need to be. Like just find the open guy, but he wants to force it to one guy so badly. It's weird how he is the most different quarterback in the NFL when it comes to passing.
I'm not going to sit here and just have a Stafford argument because I will go until fucking 8 a.m. But the thing I would argue to that is I want you to name me a quarterback that does not do that to a pretty decent degree. Mahomes with Kelsey, Diggs and Allen. Every guy has.
Yeah, but they make it work when he's actually open. Stafford just throws it when they're not open.
Guess what? Like guys like Cooper Kupp, they fucking get open. Calvin was open 90% of the time he was on the field. Double covered, triple covered, he's fucking open.
I mean, it's Calvin Johnson. We can't compare Calvin Johnson to a lot of these other guys.
Stafford mentality is like he's not doing it to random motherfuckers. Like Puka Nacua is the only guy where it's like, okay, he's kind of random. Stafford has his guy, and he has the arm talent to fit in a fucking keyhole downfield. Like, of course he's gonna keep throwing it to the guy. He knows he can do it physically. So he's gonna force feed the guys because especially like the Rams last year, early in the season. Cooper's getting fed because who the fuck else is he going to throw the ball to?
Yeah.
Then Collins, okay.
No, week 5. Bears at Commanders. I'm gonna say give me the Commanders.
Yeah, I'm thinking Commanders too. I don't see them losing this game, honestly. No matter how good Justin Fields plays, how bad he plays, it doesn't matter. I think Commanders are just better.
I think. Sorry, not to interrupt, but I think.
Damn it, Colin.
I think the Broncos was the easiest chance they had at getting their one win, and now the rest of them, it's like it's going to be a tough task. That the because obviously the Panthers play the Bears. That Panthers Bears game. I mean, regardless, it's not really going to matter because whichever one ends up with the worst record, the Bears are going to have that pick anyway. Unless for some reason they trade away one of their picks. So like
They
1
did
and 2
last.
are already pretty much locked up for them anyway, barring anything crazy. But that game is gonna fucking suck, like so much.
So
Anyway,
yeah, I don't think it's going to be close. I think Sam Howell could potentially be a guy. Like he kind of looks decent, other than the Bills game where he just got shat on by that great Bills pass rush. He has looked extremely solid for a 6th-round pick, whatever he was. Yeah, like I said with the Browns, I do not think I'll pick Bears the rest of the year. Looking at this schedule, I don't think they'll win a game, genuinely. The Cardinals week 17, 16 looks like their best shot. And if Kyler Murray's back, if he comes back at the end of the year, they won't even win that. So yeah, give me Commanders all day.
Give me the Bears.
No
Ironically,
explanation, no nothing.
Give me the Bears.
I will
Go
say
for it.
on camera that I am sneakily rooting for the Bears just so they do not get the first overall pick, because the only way that team will ever be
well,
good is if
see,
they
you got to root for the Bears and the Panthers to win a couple games.
Yeah, and I know that's me putting a little bit of faith in a rookie Bryce Young that I don't really want to put in, but in Bryce,
you hate both of these quarterbacks,
I
Man.
do not hate these quarterbacks. Justin Fields,
definitely do.
I hate. Justin Fields, I hate very particularly because that fucking man over there in the goddamn Nike hat. He does not help it at all. Bryce Young, I don't hate.
What do I
just
do?
hate Bryce.
You act like I say Justin Fields is a top 10 quarterback.
You argue that with a supporting.
You act like Kenny Pickett's a top 10 quarterback.
No,
I don't
do
want to
not.
hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Not true at all. Whatever.
Who threw
I
4
digress.
touchdowns? Who threw 0? Okay.
Who played against the Broncos defense that had 70 hung up on him? Did we forget
who's
that?
had a better
Did we forget
season?
who he was playing?
Who's
Go
had a
back.
better season the
I'm
last
not-
2 years?
Okay. Are we saying the Texans defense is a top 10 defense? What are we
It's
saying?
better than the Broncos. I think that's very.
I mean, I think they're both.
Christ, this was not how this
They're both
conversation
bottom
was supposed
10.
to go.
I know. I don't.
We're
wanna
going
get-
back to the picks.
I don't give a shit.
All right.
Man's literally hurt. Probably not going to play this
So
week.
I just had the realization that the Jags play back-to-back international games, so that's
Yep.
kind of wild.
Makes sense
but
though.
They put so
Jags-
much faith in that.
Jags versus Bills in London. I'm gonna say give me the Bills.
Yeah, Josh Allen's looking like the MVP front runner, and this is prime Josh Allen just continuing his MVP run before he throws 20 picks in the last 5 games. So
Yep. Give me the Bills.
Yeah. I don't think Trevor has still looked good. I think their offense is still kind of in shambles. I don't know. I think the Jags defense played pretty well. Who did they play? They played the Falcons. That would explain it. Yeah. Yeah, definitely give me the Bills. Definitely
Yeah,
give
when
me
you need a tune-up game, the Falcons are nice to have.
I will
Just
say
ask the Lions.
home field advantage for the Jags there in London. They fucking play there every goddamn 15 minutes. So
I don't think anyone has home field advantage in London when every single jersey is present in the crowd.
Yeah,
I'm just saying the Jags play there so much. I think
it
the
is
Jags
a
have played there
rainbow out
literally
there in the
every
stadium.
that has been a thing. Like, yeah.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I feel like they've played there consistently enough. They might have like
Plus,
a small group of fans that are rooting for them, but I mean, I feel
think
like
they
most
have-
people are just there to watch the game rather than root for anybody in particular.
I think the people that are actual like football fans over there, whatever amount there is, I think they're Jags fans at this point, just because they keep going back.
This would be the 11th game in London for the Jags.
That's insane.
What
That's
I
the
would
most
say
out of
is,
anybody, right?
But I would say-
It's literally doubled.
Wow.
what I would say is a sneaky thing that most people probably aren't going to think of. I don't know this for sure, but means they played there last week. I am very much assuming they just stayed in London this week. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
why would you fly home? I think that's a huge advantage. Is just being able to stay there for that week and not have to get jet lagged coming back like the Bills are going to be. I think that's
Yeah.
a huge advantage. Fuck it, I'm gonna pull a Marshall. I'm gonna flip to the Jags.
I thought we disbanded.
Oh, we made a
flipping.
rule
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
got in
Are we
trouble
still
for
talking
it.
about the game though?
I
Because
mean, you
when
had
I
made
did
your
it, we were
pick.
still talking about the game. We made a rule.
All
about
right,
it.
I'll go on here, Bill. I'm betting Jags, so fuck it.
All right, so that means the Bills are gonna win. Got
Let's
it.
go.
Saints at Patriots. I know the Patriots just got wrecked by the Cowboys, but the Saints are nowhere near the Cowboys. I think the Patriots might win this one like 16-13, some ugly score like that.
Yeah, this is a 50-50 game if I've ever seen one. I kind of want to lean Patriots, but I just like that Saints defense a little more. I'm gonna pick the Saints.
Yeah, give me the Patriots.
Yeah,
USA,
if
USA.
Derek Carr was healthy, because I don't think he's like fully good the way he performed this last week. Even though I didn't watch the game, but he just the stat line does not look like he was feeling all right. If he was fine, I'm going Saints all day, just because of Bill coming off the worst loss I think literally ever for him, and it being
Kamara though,
I'll go Patriots.
Kamara comes back.
He came back last week.
Well, this would be his full week. Like he knocked the rust off. I think this would be a good game for him, honestly.
I mean, Kamara had a great game this last week, and they still lost against a not insane team. I'll go Patriots.
All right. We got Titans at Colts. I'm gonna be real. Let down a little bit by the Colts this past week. I know they fought pretty hard, sent the game into overtime and everything, but yeah, I don't know. The Titans, like they're really like inconsistent right now. They either look really good or they look really fucking bad, specifically on defense. But I think this is going to be another look really good kind of week for them, and I think they're going to win. The only thing is it's on the road, might keep it close at least for a little while, but I think the Titans take this one.
I'm gonna agree with Colin. Titans are very inconsistent, but I think they're starting to get a rhythm going right now, and I'm gonna just go with the Titans.
Give me the Colts.
Marshall has no thoughts.
No thoughts, just
the
picks.
picks,
thought
which
he
I
was just
appreciate. That'll make my editing go a lot faster.
I thought he was just picking the opposite of you guys, which I thought was his plan, but I don't know. This game's honestly kind of the toughest one to pick for me because, like, I don't know. The Titans have won every game that this year or I guess I should say every game that they have won so far is teams you can run on. Like the Chargers, they could run on them. They played the Bengals, which have no passing attack, so they were able to just run the ball all game. The teams they lost against was the Browns, who have a great front, and then the Saints, who also have a good front, and it was in New Orleans, I believe. So this one's hard. Colts play good at home. I'm gonna go Colts just because they have been so inconsistent.
What about your boy Mike Vrabel? I thought we'd pick Mike Vrabel.
This one, that's what I'm saying. This one is such a toss up. Like,
I mean, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know,
You
but
fought so hard for him last week. You were like, Mike Vrabel, man. Never count out Mike Vrabel.
I
But
think
now we're counting out Mike Vrabel. I just thought it was funny.
I think this is my first time picking against the Titans this year because I know
gotta be.
I know I picked
Because every fucking week it's Mike Vrabel, Mike Vrabel.
I know I picked up against the Saints. I don't know if I picked them against the Saints, but I know I picked them against the Chargers. I know I picked them against the Browns, and I know I picked them against the Bengals. Those are the three. I was right 2 or 3 times. So yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm not
moving on. We got Ravens at Steelers. Ravens, no question.
If Kenny Pickett's the quarterback, the Ravens will win 100% of the time.
Yeah, give me the Ravens.
Go ahead, Donnie. What's your pick?
Say it. We know what it's going to be. I want you to think about the bullshit they just put up.
Well, I'm gonna go against my previous self. I'm gonna go Ravens.
Thank you.
If Kenny plays, just
the
Steelers will lose by 3. If Kenny plays, the Steelers will lose by 3. That's my only caveat. It's in Acrisure, dude. Like, come on, you got to give them more of a chance than that.
I know it's not Heinz Field anymore, but just say Heinz Field.
Acrisure, dude.
And for sure, no.
That one isn't. That one. Not
Sounds
gonna lie, is another sneaky tough game. Just because Tomlin isn't gonna let them play like shit off a game like that. You know what I mean?
I think they got one more game. If they come out and lay an egg on offense again, they're gonna. Matt Canada's gone.
I was gonna say the only thing I'll say is I will go Ravens just because he did not fucking come out this morning in fucking shit can Canada. Their big change was they cut Des Fitzpatrick, the 7th wide receiver on the fucking roster. So until they fire Canada, I might have to just start picking against them.
Do we know how Fryermuth's doing?
I didn't even know he got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt this last week.
Yeah, I think he's still questionable.
Okay.
I don't think there's
well because if he's out for this week, that especially hurts, and I think that just helps the Ravens.
I just know Kenny has a bone bruise, so like they're expecting him to maybe go. I honestly just kind of hope he doesn't.
Sit him.
Fucking
You're gonna lose this game anyway. Just sit him.
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right, moving on. We got Panthers at Lions. Give me the Lions.
Throw them L's up for the Lions. Fuck the Panthers. Should have beat them last year.
We should have. Revenge game. There you go.
Yep.
Give me the Lions.
So I got I'm pulling out my Dallas hat. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of trivia. The Lions are...
This man's trying to steal my gimmick.
The Lions are, I don't know, across all books. Right here, I have them at -9. You guys want to go ahead and take a fucking guess the Lions were favored by 9 or more points?
No.
Wait, what? What's the question?
The Lions are favored by 9 points. You guys want to take a random shot in the dark of when the last time the Lions were favored by 9 or more points in a football game?
Probably in the 90s.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's kind of sad. No, it hasn't been that fucking long.
Last time we won a playoff game, shit.
I expected you guys to say like, oh, a year or two. God, fucking Jesus, guys.
No.
Last time they were favored by 9 or more points was 12-27 of 2015 against the 49ers. Their quarterback that game, Blaine Gabbert. Their leading rusher was a guy named Jawan Harris. I don't know. I didn't know that motherfucker existed. I don't know. I watched football during that time. Last time they were favored by more than a touchdown. I don't have it, but I believe it was 2017 or 2018 against the Packers. So I don't know if the Lions are going to cover.
Probably 18.
I'm hoping
actually, it might have been 17 because that was the year Rodgers broke his collarbone midseason.
Yeah, it was late in the year too. So I didn't write that one, but I just thought that was an interesting tidbit. Yeah, I hope the Lions hang 40 on them just because of what they fucking did last year. But realistically, I think it's going to be a closer game. But yeah, I am not going against the Lions at this point.
Yeah, no. Texans at Falcons. Texans are on a roll right now. I'm gonna say give me the Texans over the Falcons. Falcons fucking stink, man.
As much as I know Marshall's a big Alabama guy, he loves Bryce Young. I know Donnie hates Bryce Young. I like Bryce Young, but I always thought CJ Stroud was the better pick, in my opinion, versus Bryce Young. And he's rolling right now. I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah, give me the Texans.
Like to say again, I do not beat Bryce Young, but yeah, give me the Texans for sure. CJ Stroud, I haven't watched him play, but by his box scores, other than him being somewhat inaccurate, he seems to kind of be a guy. So I mean, that's good. The Texans have some hope for once, for the first time in
he reminds me. I
mean, if you watched him
Deshaun.
play anybody other than Michigan in college, you would know that he was a guy.
He reminds me of Deshaun Watson on those early years on the Texans. He kind of reminds me of Deshaun a little bit. Just as one of the best players on not a good team,
not so great team, yeah.
but still like getting wins.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I am very impressed with his ability to take like a fucking Nico Collins or a Tank Dell and kind of make him look good. Given he ain't got a fucking option. Like he's only got his guys. But
Collins ain't bad. He's just young.
I don't know. I think he's doing very well with what he has around him because that O-line isn't good other than Tunsil there. And who knows how their offensive coordinator is because D'Amico Ryans is their head coach and he's a fucking linebacker. But yeah, I'll go Texans for sure. I wonder how long until the Falcons pull the Desmond Ritter plug.
It's funny you say, well, D'Amico Ryans is our head coach and he was a fucking linebacker. Our head coach was a tight end. It's like very like it seems like that's being the move here, just pulling out random players, young guys who played in the NFL.
I was saying defensive minded, not like oh he's a fucking linebacker. No, like he's obviously a defensive coach. Dan is offensive, so helps cheer.
All right, we got Giants at Dolphins. I mean, we just watched
Dolphins are scoring 70 again. I'm calling it. There's no way they don't.
Yeah, I know we just watched the Giants get fucking wrecked.
That was tough to watch.
By the fucking Seahawks too. Like I know we lost to the Seahawks, but we shouldn't have lost to the Seahawks. Seahawks aren't that good. 11 fucking sacks. Like that's insane.
The thing is, it's not that Seattle isn't good. It's that specifically the worst part of their team is their pass rush. Like that's the sad part. Their pass rush.
So, I think if I admittedly don't know like what Saquon's injury is, but if he happens to be back, maybe the Giants put up a couple more points than they would without him. But it's not going to change the outcome. I think Dolphins win this one easy.
To you, Marshall?
Honestly, Giants fucked up by coming back against the Cardinals.
Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah. I wonder what the spread on this is going to be. It's not up yet. I'm expecting like a touchdown, especially being in Miami. I'm definitely going to go Dolphins. I just wonder how many times Daniel Jones is going to get sacked. Offensive line is fucking atrocious. They're up there with the worst in the league.
Yeah.
All right, 75 needs to get fired. Cut from the team.
I'm wondering if that was a backup because I don't think it was Andrew Thomas who was the starting.
Andrew Thomas was out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's whoever. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
It does. Bengals at Cardinals.
Another tough game.
This is like both these teams suck.
Everybody's healthy. This is a great game though. I'm not gonna lie.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't believe in Joe Burrow anymore. I thought maybe he was going to get it figured out, and he still hasn't. So, but I don't know. I mean, the Cardinals just suck. I mean, they blew a huge lead to fucking Daniel Jones.
If this man Joe Burrow was healthy, it wouldn't be a question, though, right? Right. It would be Bengals. But the fact that this man is still hurt.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Cardinals.
I want to pick the Bengals. I don't think I can't. I just think the Cardinals. I just can't see Joe Burrow evading any sacks, and he's gonna kind of look like Daniel Jones. Not 11 sacks, but he's just gonna be taking up sacks in the worst possible times, and I think the Cardinals will just win by a field goal.
Yeah, give me the Bengals.
Okay.
Good, no thoughts, just the pick.
This is kind of weird. I don't like him not talking. He's usually the most talkative.
I know, right? Weird.
He's probably got somebody in the room watching his every move. Just got a gun. Just make the picks.
He knows there's one game that he's gonna be like super adamant about his pick, and so he's just saving the conversation for
then. Honestly, like, again, I know I've said this for like 4 games. This one's kind of tough just because the Cardinals play like shit at home. Every time, like, they always play bad at home. I don't know what it is about the stadium. I know that's been like a track record over the past couple of years. But yeah, if either the Bengals need to sit Joe Burrow or they're going to lose this game if he plays. And, like, if they don't set him after that, like, you got to start looking at Zach Taylor. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, Joe Burrow's just getting his ass kicked and you're losing games. Like, at least only let one of the two happen. Yeah, I'm going to go Cardinals. Jonathan Gannon looks like the world's biggest dipshit, but he's got the Cardinals actually playing like a good football team. Every game they've been in, which is insane to say.
Yeah. All right, we got Eagles at Rams. Yeah, I don't know. as much as I want to hate Matthew Stafford and the Rams right now, I think I might pick Rams. I might
It-
pick the Rams.
That's
I'm
is
picking the
Cup
Rams.
is Cup playing confirmed?
I don't know.
It
I
was
think
last
even
I
without
saw,
him, I think they're gonna win.
I saw that he was going to play, but I also saw Jake Glazer say that Saturday at like 6 o'clock. So like I feel like that's very early to say that he was going to play just because he's coming off IR. But I would expect yes. I would expect him to play and Stafford to play.
If Stafford plays, I'm guaranteeing an interception to Darius Slay. Just specifically Darius Slay.
It's such a great.
A pick 6 to Darius.
I
Slay.
wasn't gonna say a pick 6. I was just gonna say a pick.
And
But
he'll hand him the ball.
bro, if he did that, that would be crazy.
Darius
be
Slay, if you're
crazy.
watching this.
But I think the Eagles are gonna win kind of easily. Just the balance between the Rams offense being so pass heavy. I don't see the Rams being able to get a good flow going on offense enough to win the game.
Yeah. Give me the Eagles.
This is a very hard game to pick. This is the
It's your-
battle
it's-
of
It's
This
the,
is-
it's the battle of your boys.
this is the
Yeah.
battle of my guys. This is gonna be interesting. I will say no matter what, that I think this is like upset contender just because the Eagles don't have really the great secondary anymore. Like that's their biggest weakness on the entire team. I think we can all agree. And then the Rams this year have just been gashing motherfuckers through the air. So fuck. I wish I would have had a coin. I'd have just flipped one on this. I will go Eagles to win, but Rams to cover. I think it's going to be extremely close.
Okay, that's fair. Jets and Broncos. Give me the Jets.
This is the Nathaniel Hackett Bowl. Don't forget, guys, these teams have a lot of beef.
Man, if only Aaron Rodgers was fucking playing, then all of these storylines would fucking matter.
Yeah.
Hey, he'll probably be in the building.
Yeah, he'll probably get as many fucking. I don't know if he's gonna be on the sideline in the booth. That man was going back and forth throughout the whole game.
He looked good on the crutches though. He wasn't fucking moving.
But I'm gonna go Broncos. Sean Payton has too much to back up about how shitty the staff was in Denver when he got there. I think Broncos got to win it.
Yeah, give me the Jets.
Yeah, I think Sean Payton is taking it on the fucking shins after a 70-point loss. It took all that to beat the fucking Bears. I think that if Zach Wilson can come out and play 50% of what he played against the Chiefs, I think the Jets will kind of run away with it. I'm picking Zach just because Zach needs somebody to believe in him. And like after what I saw, he looked pretty damn good. So I'll go Jets.
All right, we got Chiefs at Vikings. Congratulations to the Vikings on getting your first win of the season against a god awful Panthers team. Kirk is ass. The whole like Justin Jefferson is carrying that offense right now. Give me the Chiefs, no question.
I agree with everything you're saying, Colin. I'm still picking the Vikings to win. I don't know what it is.
No fucking way.
I'm genuinely thinking the Vikings.
Way.
This will be the upset. This will be the upset of the week. I guarantee it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me the Vikings.
Fucking shit, man.
Yeah, shut up. Ain't no way. A part of me wants to just make Colin Lone Wolf the Chiefs. I don't know why. I do not know why. Just be like, yeah, we're all Vikings. What the fuck are you on, Colin? No, I'm not gonna lie. The spread is kind of surprising. It's only 5.5. I know it's in Minnesota, but like, holy shit. Man, this would be very tempting if the Vikings wouldn't quit turning the fucking ball over every 0.2 plays.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going Chiefs. I cannot believe two of you said Vikings. That's a little.
I think Marshall's new strategy is just pick whatever Dallas says.
Of what you two are picking, or he's picking whatever the craziest of the two is. he's got something going on. You know, with him not talking.
I was gonna say there's some
He's not-
bigger plan here. I'm just waiting for it. All right, so Sunday night football. This is gonna be a great
Plenty.
fucking game.
God.
Like
Oh.
this might be the game of the year.
What do you?
This is a potential NFC championship game. Like,
Yeah. So yeah, Cowboys. Ooh. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna lean 49ers since it's at the 49ers.
yeah, part of me wants to lean 49ers just because McCaffrey's on a fucking tear. That Brock Purdy's got the offense running. The defense is cooking. As much as I love the Cowboys, I don't see the defense being able to one up the 49ers defense as good as they are, on top of how good the 49ers offense is. So I'm going to go 49ers, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, give me the 49ers.
I think if Dak would look like Dak, like he hasn't looked normal this year. He's kind of given half the games have been blown, but like he has not been throwing the ball over the yard like what some
It's
of
been
us,
so
some
weird.
MVP predictions thought it would be. But
To be fair, I didn't expect the Dallas defense to score 40 fantasy points in week 1 to where he didn't have to throw the ball at all.
I mean,
Let's say when they started all of their offensive drives on the 25-yard line of the Giants.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to look good on the box sheet, you know.
I guess I'll give you an olive branch on that one. Honestly, especially with it being in San Fran, I think this is an unexpected blowout. I think the 49ers walk away. I don't think the 49ers have beat the Cowboys in recent memory because the Cowboys keep losing to them in the playoffs.
Mhm.
Like it's been their kryptonite. Given it hasn't been a blowout any of the times, but yeah, I think 49ers win this by 2 scores. I think this is going to be kind of a lopsided affair.
Interesting. So you're taking the 9.5 spread then, Donnie, right? 2 scores.
The spread's at 4. Yeah, I would do Niners alt spread 9.5. I don't love the 49ers. Mainly because I think eventually Brock Purdy will throw them out of a game. I don't think it's gonna happen in the regular season, to be fair. I think regular season he's fine. He's gonna win you a shit ton of fucking games. I think the problem's gonna be in the playoffs for them. But the Cowboys, even if this was a playoff game, I'd still probably pick 49ers just because the Cowboys love to choke in playoff games. So yeah, I'll definitely go 49ers here.
All right, Monday Night Football. We got Packers at Raiders. Another shitty matchup to end the week. I think I'm going to go Packers.
Is Jimmy G still in concussion protocol?
I
Or
think
Yes,
he's
he is.
questionable.
He is, but I'd be kind of shocked if he doesn't play. It means he was like a game time, not a game time because he was rolled out the night before, but like it was close. You know what I mean? I would be pretty shocked if he doesn't play.
I'm still gonna go Packers regardless. I just
Before we make all our picks, Jair Alexander did not play last week. He's still listed as questionable, so don't know if that affects anybody. He looks like the biggest injury, other than Jimmy G, obviously.
Yeah, I just don't like this Raiders team, honestly.
No.
Other than Devontae Adams,
Well,
Josh
that's the thing
Jacobs
is
hasn't
like the
played
Packers are
good,
so
like,
mid it hurts, but the Raiders are just even worse.
yeah.
Again, road game, maybe it's close, but
Mhm.
I think the Packers win it.
Yeah. Give me the Packers.
Jesus fucking Christ.
This one's tough just because we don't really know Jimmy. Like if he's gonna play or not. How have the fucking Raiders got so many early primetime games? This is the second time we're gonna see them in prime time in 5 weeks. I feel like that's a lot for this fucking Raiders team.
And then they've got another one coming up in a couple weeks with us.
Yeah, but damn, it's at least us. Like it's like, oh yeah, it's a Lions. This is a
Right,
fucking
yeah.
Packers. So yeah, I think this is a little bit of a if Jimmy plays, I'm going on if Jimmy plays. I think if Jimmy plays, I think it's kind of a little bit of a fuck you to the Packers game for Devontae. I think he'll kind of go absolutely off. So I see him carrying them to a win. Plus, Josh Jacobs has gotten rolling slowly but surely. So give me the Raiders.
It is trivia time here on the Fourth and Wrong podcast, and I don't really have I only
What's
have
that?
one. I only have one.
This man Donnie
be a
is his
doozy.
least favorite subject. Look at this man. He's like, bro, I've
It's
been
because-
on such a bad stretch.
It's because Donnie sucks at trivia.
That's
Even
not
him,
true.
even
That's
him
not
trying
true.
to give his own little trivia
Right,
about the
fuck it.
Lions was
Fucking
ass.
Run it.
But-
Let's
Don't
fucking
wake up
run it.
Chevy.
It wasn't
Don't
a
wake
trivia.
up
It
Chevy.
was just a fucking question. Fuck you. It was a
So-
question that I thought was interesting. I wrote it down.
This man's got a notepad. This
I have a notepad for every game. I also wrote down
So-
Commanders -7 because that's my favorite game to bet on.
is even Lions notepad too.
Oh
Oh
man.
my
So
God.
If
So
you flip the
trivia-
page, it's just mom's grocery list.
Actually, no, it's fine.
all right. So trivia time here on the Fourth and Wrong podcast.
Yes.
Today's topic is all CJ Stroud related.
This is
Ooh.
fucking crazy. Yeah,
I-
I log out.
I
Fucking
think
bye,
this man's going crazy.
He is
and,
going crazy.
and I don't think you guys
He's
realize
the
how
favorite to win
crazy he's
offensive
doing.
rookie of the year.
I do believe that's the case. Through the his first four games, he has the second most passing yards of all time in his first four starts. I want you guys to predict who's number 1 and who's number 3. This is the first trivia question.
I feel like I should get to go first after the last trivia stretch.
All
My
right, go for it.
answer. No, I'm just kidding.
It was kind of rough, Donnie. I don't know if we should start off on
Just
a
give it to
wrong
him. Go.
question, but go ahead.
So you want just the top 3, just number 1 and number 3,
Yep,
or just passing yards?
just passing yards.
Okay, give me Cam Newton.
Cam Newton is number 1 with 1389.
That got me.
For reference, CJ Stroud has 1212. So he's still about 150 off, give or take.
Give me Andrew Luck.
It is Andrew Luck Marshall. He had 1208, so he just barely beat out Andrew Luck. So if this is the tell of what CJ Stroud is possibly being able to do in the league, he's compared to an MVP and one of the greatest quarterbacks to never survive like 8 years in the league.
The worst way you could have put that. Not a guy who, as a rookie, led his team to an 11-6 record. This
Yep.
man said he almost died. So like, there's that. Like, Jesus, what
the man that showed up for a fucking revolutionary
What's funny
war
is he actually looks like.
reenactment.
I was curious real quick.
Wild.
He actually, like, in terms of their first 4 games, he looks 10 times better than Cam Newton, though.
Oh, you think
Like,
so?
I don't know about that.
He looks better. Let me read off in terms of passing, the rushing probably not on here.
Okay.
But Cam Newton through his first 4 games, 1,300 yards, 59% completion rating, 5 touchdowns, 5 picks. And then CJ Stroud, 1,200 yards, 63% completion rating, 6 touchdowns, 0 picks. He has not thrown a single pick. 5 interceptions and 5 picks isn't amazing through your first 4 games.
And you know what, Marshall? That's a great transition to the next trivia question. Sorry to cut you off, Donnie. But go ahead, Donnie. What was your thoughts?
I was just going to make a small point that you got to think that is the NFL now. The NFL in 2011 wasn't so, like, passing numbers weren't what they are now. So Cam Newton throwing 1,100 yards because he went to, I heard that a long time ago, so I don't know exactly. But like the Panthers scored like 27 touchdowns all year the before Cam was drafted, and then the year he was drafted as a team they scored like 47. So like he came into a shit offense, and then given Bryce or CJ wasn't coming into the best offensive ever, but like I don't know, for Cam for in 2011 that was highly impressive. Plus the rushing numbers, so I don't know about he's like way performing Cam.
Well, to transition into the next trivia question, CJ Stroud is the 6th player in NFL history to average 300 passing yards and 0 interceptions through the first 4 games of a season. He is number 6, the 6th person to do it. Who are the other 5? Colin, you get the first guess.
Boy.
Mm.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady was the 2nd person to do it in 2015 and 2017. He was 4 games to start the season, 300
So does he
passing
count
yards,
for 2
0.
since he did it twice?
No. He's still the second player to do it, just because he did it multiple times. But so there's 4 more left. Who else?
Billy Cannon.
Maybe he might be 7th, honestly.
Yeah.
He wasn't even a quarterback.
Which makes it all the more impressive.
The forward pass was barely.
I had to
even a
get
thing
it
when
out
he
of the
played.
way because Dallas is gonna find some trivia question where Billy Cannon is on that list.
I don't know if I can ever
I
find
can't wait for
another
that day.
list with that man
Top
on.
5
That would be the
Wall
best
Street
trivia day of the
athletes
year.
who played in the NFL.
Oh,
Let me
And
go.
Colin knows everything about this man's social life now because he looked up every single thing about him.
I did.
This man has his street address written down now. Billy Cannon's social security number is.
I'm talking about Billy Cannon. Okay. 300 yards, no interceptions, first 4 games is what it was.
yes.
Okay.
Of a season, not of a career, of a season.
Yeah, I thought you said rookie year at first. I was like, there's 7 motherfuckers to do that in the rookie year. That's why when he said Tom Brady,
Yeah,
I was
that's kind of wild. That'd be kind of wild.
That would be crazy.
well, that's why when you said Tom Brady, I was like, what the fuck did he do? But no. I'm gonna go with a guy who just has a ton of good Septembers. Give me Patrick Mahomes. He has to be on there.
Patrick Mahomes was the 4th person to do it. In 2018 and 2019, he did it.
So Mahomes was the 4th person like in that line to do it. Mm-hmm. So that means there's been 3 guys post Mahomes because what year was it? 2018.
2018. So 2 guys before, or technically Mahomes was 4th. So there's 3 people that did it before him, and then 2.
One of them was Tom Brady,
him.
which we already got.
One of them was Tom Brady. 2 after him. One of those was CJ Stroud.
So there's only one person that's not CJ.
Correct.
Okay. Okay,
Yep.
that makes sense. Okay.
All right, Marshall, what do you got?
Give me Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning was the first person to do it.
Damn, I almost got
2013. 2013, he did it.
Sorry,
We are looking for 2 more.
Well, so it's average 300 yards and no interceptions through the first 4 games.
300 passing yards, 0 interceptions, first 4 games of the season.
How much digging did it take for you to find this shit?
I literally saw this post and screenshotted it.
Okay.
Like 3 hours ago.
Oh, so somebody else did this digging for you.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, I was really ready for that Peyton Manning poll.
Just ruined this whole man's day.
Really did.
And it just started.
So there's one since 2018.
Yep.
Can I get the year?
I'll give you.
Don't give him the year this early. God damn,
I'll give you guys the.
He said a quarterback after 2019. You know, there's only a handful of people that.
Yeah, Colin, don't give
Listen,
him that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll
fine.
Okay, Colin.
Actually, we're gonna go pre. Give me Drew Brees.
What a pull, Colin. 2018 Drew Brees. He was the 3rd person to do it.
Let's fucking go.
Ain't no way this man Colin just took 20 minutes to get Drew Brees and said, let's fucking go. What pull, guys?
What a pull.
Good shit. Fist bumps all around.
I'm glad Colin went with that guess because I'm very much stuck in between between Mahomes and CJ. That's kind of.
No, that's I was gonna try and get that one, but I was like, no, fuck it.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of good guesses there. I've got 2 in mind. The one I'm not gonna go with because he's been a rookie more recent, and I feel like a rookie is not doing that. That's kind of insane. So let me go with my least favorite player, Josh Allen.
It is not Josh Allen.
Okay.
Not Josh Allen.
I feel like I know who it is then.
Marshall, to you.
Is it Joe Burrow?
It's not Joe Burrow.
Oh, I know who it is for sure.
Back to you, Colin. Can you clean it up here, Colin?
Is it Dak?
It is not Dak Prescott.
That's
Wow.
all that got back to me. I would be kind of shocked out of all those names if it's not this guy now. Give me Justin Herbert.
Not Justin Herbert.
Wow.
Yeah. We're running
Wow.
right fast.
I feel like
Whoa.
we're thinking way too young.
No, because
Marshall.
it's between Mahomes, and that happened in 2018.
Marshall, what do we got here, man?
Dude is new.
Is it?
Well, it's not that he is like new to his career in that year.
Yeah,
It's
but the
just
odds
he's got to be
This
playing.
guy
odds are
started off last year with a bang.
Hmm.
Is it Tua?
It is not Tua.
Oh, that would have been an all-time poll.
We are getting
Tua's on pace to do
stumped.
it.
We're getting stumped right now. Colin.
Tua was
Back
on
to
pace
you.
until last week.
So this would be after 2019. All right, I'm gonna just start throwing out names. I know it's not him, but I gotta eliminate it because I feel like it's one of the ones we're overlooking.
What is it?
Russ Wilson.
Not Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Back to Donnie.
Wait, is it the first 4 games of this first 4 games of the season, right?
Of,
Yep.
yeah, of
Okay.
any season in their career.
Mhm.
Making sure.
Kind of shocked we haven't said this guy yet, honestly.
First 4 games, 300 yards. There's one name rattling around in my head, but I know it's not him. There's no shot in the world it's him.
It's him. Just know it. It's him.
It's not going to be him, I promise you.
Just say it.
It's not Kenny Pickett.
Anyway, just because he hasn't been said, this isn't the person I was thinking. Is it Aaron Rodgers?
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, duh.
Mr. Never throws an INT.
Mr. Sucks.
He also hasn't had a 300-yard passing season since probably those first 4 games.
300 passing yard season?
Or 300 passing
damn,
yard game.
Terrible.
I'm sorry, game.
Yards in a season.
I mean, shit, he didn't get 300 passing yards this season.
Thank you for listening to the Fourth and Wrong podcast. We will see you next week. That's going to do it for us.